Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the academic procession.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Coast Salish territory of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh, and welcome to SFU. Welcome to this wonderful day for the students, their graduation. Just a very short prayer before we continue our presentations. Oh, Great Spirit, thank you for bringing us together today. Just thank the people who have helped the students, all the support that they've got through the years that they've spent with us. And thanking the family for allowing us to have them for all the years that they've been here to study. And just take care of them when they go home, all my relations. Now I ask the Chancellor Anne to come forward, please.
Thank you to Elder Margaret, a member of SFU's Aboriginal Elder Program, who shared her words of welcome for us all here today. I'd like to start out by acknowledging the Coast Salish peoples on whose traditional territories we are privileged to be gathered this afternoon. I'd like now to invite Ms. Selena Gabrielle, a fourth-year student in the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, to lead us all in singing O Canada. Selena.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée de plus brillants exploits. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Please be seated. I declare the Fall 2015 Convocation assembled for the granting of degrees. Mr. President, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty, honored guests, graduands and friends, I am Anne Giardini, the Chancellor of SFU, and this is our 50th Convocation, and we are delighted and honored to have you all here today. In attendance today are a number of distinguished guests in the audience and on the platform, including members of Senate, vice presidents, deans, and faculty. I'd like to acknowledge honorary degree recipient Dr. Marguerite Ford, and the Chancellor of the University of Fraser Valley, Dr. Gwendolyn Point, who is receiving a degree of Doctor of Education this afternoon, and Dr. Nancy Turner, who will be conferred an honorary Doctorate of Science this afternoon. Welcome all. I'm going to start by taking us some distance away to Cambridge, England, which I hope you have had or will have a chance to visit, and to a piece of sculpture outside Corpus Christi College, a clock called a chronophage, which means time eater. It's in the form of a grasshopper-like insect that moves its large jaws and seems to eat up the seconds as they pass. Below the clock is a cautionary inscription, "The world and its desires pass away." And the point of it is to remind us of the inevitable passing of time. There are many reminders of time and its passing. Maybe your time here flew right by, except for those hours in the exam room. And didn't your childhood just run through your fingers like sand? And old people, people in their 40s, don't they always tell you how, they always wonder where the days go, and that the years go faster and faster? Now, when my mother was in your chair, except in her case, the chair was in Indiana and the year was 1957, when she was about to graduate, the class was told by their speaker, a beloved math professor, this: tempus fugit, time flies. As my mother remembered it later, the professor told them that unless they seized the moment, in fact seized every moment, their lives would get away from them and be wasted. And as a result, in the years that followed, she was worried about this, that time was passing her by. And she was persuaded that she'd failed because she was not filling every moment of every day with something meaningful to make the best possible use of her allotted time on earth. Task you have to fit the task to the time, or the time to the task. There will seldom be a perfect time, and there may not be as much of it as you would like. But if you can find some scraps of time and organize it in a way that makes sense, you can put them together and create something enduring. The days cannot be stretched, but they can be shaped. In part from my mother's experience, and in part from my own, and in part from reading and observing other busy and successful people, particularly creative people, I've seen over and over that the nature of time requires that we consciously shape our goals and that we take up the things that are most important to us, our friends, our work, our families, our art, and fold them like origami into the time we have in life. It helps by reframing. If we come from the mindset of scarcity, life will feel scant. If we come from a perspective of plenty, we experience life as abundant. And time is like this too. We should treat our time as precious and profuse, not precious and inadequate. This reframing has to do with changing challenges, such as where will I find the time, into an advantage, such as how will I make the best use of the time that is demonstrably available to me. Each hour, each second, each day, week, month, and year of our lives is, in fact, a miracle. And each, as that math professor said, is to be seized. But they are not fleeting and scarce, not as we treat them as expansive and abundant and generously ours to spend as we choose. So my mother's conclusion was this: tempus does not fugit. Time is not cruel. Given the luck of a long and healthy life, which most of us will have, we have time, plenty of time. Time to dream and to drift, time even to waste. Fallow time and shallow time, good years and bad years. Every hour will not be filled with meaning and accomplishment as the world measures such things, but there will be compensating hours that are so full, so humanly satisfying, that we will become partners with time and not victims of time. We might not have the good luck of a long life. Our own beloved Terry Fox, whose statue is in the academic Quadrangle Gardens, didn't quite make it to age 23. But there was someone who shaped his days to his goals and his goals to his days. He ran 5,373 kilometers in 143 days, and he said that if he didn't finish, then others would do it for him. He inspired people in their millions to do exactly that. My hope for you is that you don't worry about time running out, but instead about how to put your time to good work, to use, wonderful use, imaginative, constructive, engaging use. I, for one, can't wait to see what you do with your time ahead. Congratulations to you all. I'll now call on our president, Professor Andrew Petter.
Madam Chancellor, honored guests, members of the Board of Governors and Senate, faculty members, staff, but most especially graduands, family, and friends. It's my privilege to preside at this culminating celebration of your education at Simon Fraser University. This is always a sweet moment, an occasion to recognize and honor the achievements of a graduating class. But it's particularly sweet in this SFU's 50th anniversary year. People celebrate birthdays, I believe, because even as they accumulate, they affirm our continued existence. When French actor Maurice Chevalier was asked what it was like to have turned 80 years of age, he replied, "Not so bad when you consider the alternative." Anniversaries tend to be more reflective, inviting us to look back at the highlights and the accomplishments of a lifetime. And that's an interesting notion, a lifetime. The word is freighted with meaning, yet the concept is entirely elastic, defined both by the length and expectancy of the life in question. For most of you graduating today, 50 years likely sounds like a long time. But in the lifetime of a university, it's barely a blink. All the more remarkable then that SFU has grown in that period from being regarded initially as a rebellious upstart to being recognized today as one of Canada's top-ranked comprehensive universities. We burst onto the scene in the 1960s as the radical campus, an engine of activism that has transformed itself over the years into a vehicle for engagement. Now, you've probably heard me mention that word engagement a few times before. Indeed, it's central to SFU's vision, to be Canada's engaged university, defined by our dynamic integration of innovative education, cutting-edge research, and far-reaching community engagement. It's a vision that draws on 50 years of progress. We've reached out over those 5 decades, creating new campuses in Vancouver and Surrey, and drawing the community of Burnaby closer to us with the development of University. Building on a foundation of fundamental research, we've become a world leader in knowledge mobilization, leveraging our discoveries and innovations for economic, environmental, and social betterment. And we've worked to equip you, our students, with the knowledge, the skills, the experiences that you require to succeed in an ever-changing and challenging world. Which brings me to the best part of the 50th anniversary convocation. The lifetimes and achievements we most celebrate today are yours. Today, you join a network of more than 130,000 SFU alumni. Today, you step from this engaged university into a world that needs you. With the degree SFU confers, we say formally and officially that we are proud of you. But more than that, we say that we are confident in your capacities to contribute the ideas, the energies, and the talents that the world requires. For it is the difference that you make as engaged citizens that is the best expression of this university's commitment to engage the world. Now, there are some other lifetime achievements that I hope you'll join with me in recognizing today. To parents, the graduation of a son or a daughter represents one of the most fulfilling accomplishments of any good lifetime. I know this personally. I've watched proudly as my son accepted undergraduate and graduate degrees, and I can tell you that while the effort and credit were all his, the excitement and gratification were gloriously, if not equally, mine. So I hope you appreciate the pride and the joy that your graduation brings to those who have worked so hard to help you make this day possible. Parents, mentors, family, and friends. In addition to thanking them for their support, I hope you welcome them generously into your celebration. And whatever you do with your degree, however far you ultimately travel, I hope that you will also stay engaged with SFU and with each other. I encourage you to come back to this university anytime you seek new knowledge or just to pay us a visit and to say hello. We will always be here, happy to see you, and eager to help. So for now, bravo. The honor you received today was 50 years in the making, and I urge you to make the most of it. Congratulations and Godspeed.
SFU's honorary degree is the highest honor conferred by the university. Honorary degrees are awarded to distinguished individuals in recognition of their scholarly, scientific, or artistic achievement, or in recognition of exceptional contribution to the public good through professional or philanthropic activity. Honorary degree recipients' achievements celebrate our university's values and serve as an inspiration and a role model to our students, graduates, and the broader community. The honorary degree will now be conferred. To present the honorary degree candidate, Dr. Nancy Turner, I am pleased to welcome Dr. Dana Lepofsky and Dr. Ken Lertzman. Dr. Dana Lepofsky is a professor in the Department of Archaeology. She started working with Dr. Turner in 1985 when she was Dr. Turner's student, and together they continue to collaborate on many ethnoecological projects in coastal BC. Dr. Len Lertzman is a professor in the School of Resource and Environmental Management. He has worked with Dr. Turner since the early 1990s. Dr. Lepofsky and Dr. Lertzman.
Madam Chancellor, I am privileged to present Dr. Nancy Turner, Distinguished Professor and Hackeye Professor in Ethnoecology at the University of Victoria. Dr. Turner is an ethnobotanist who is internationally known for her research into traditional knowledge systems and traditional land and resource management systems of Indigenous peoples in the Northwest. For over 40 years, Nancy Turner has collaborated with First Nations communities, working closely with elders and cultural specialists to help document, retain, and promote their rich heritage of traditional botanical and ecological knowledge. Her work integrates the fields of botany and ecology with anthropology, geography, and linguistics to illuminate an intricate tapestry of cedar and salmon, of edible plants and healing herbs, along with their role in language, ceremony, and belief over the millennia. At the heart of this inquiry reside questions of how this critically important knowledge was transferred, discovered, and adapted, and how best to preserve it in a world beset by change and environmental challenge. Her work has redefined our understanding of traditional cultures and resource use in northwestern North America and has profound implications for national policies and First Nations legal issues.
As author, co-author, and co-editor, Dr. Turner has over 25 books and more than 120 book chapters and peer-reviewed publications to her name. Her honors, too, are legion. She is an elected Fellow of the Royal Society of Canada and a member of both the Order of Canada and the Order of British Columbia. She is the recipient of prestigious international awards in biodiversity, ethnobotany, genetic resource conservation, and economic botany, granted by institutions as varied as the University of Bologna and the Healing Forest Conservancy in Washington, D.C. The Canadian Botanical Association presented her with a medal for lifetime contributions to Canadian botany, and she received the BC Lieutenant Governor's Medal for Best Historical Nonfiction for her 2005 publication, The Plants of Haida Gwaii. In September, she received a prestigious 3-year Trudeau Foundation Fellowship. Nancy Turner has also set the standard for collaborative, respectful research with Indigenous peoples and shown that the First Nations' complex social management strategies embedded in tradition offer a guidepost to good stewardship and the sustainability of resources. In recognition of her distinguished career and contributions to the preservation and advancement of knowledge, Madam Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate of Simon Fraser University, we ask that you now confer upon Professor Nancy Turner the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
Nancy Turner, after the hugging. By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa. Dr. Turner will be hooded by Dr. Jonathan Driver, Vice President Academic, and Dr. Nancy Johnston, Executive Director, Student Affairs.
That's the right color. Way to go, Nancy. It is with great pleasure that I now call on Dr. Nancy Turner for her convocation address. Dr. Turner.
Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, distinguished guests, faculty, staff in the Simon Fraser community, parents, children, friends, families, and most of all, graduates of Simon Fraser University. I'm so pleased to be here with you today, and I feel very humbled and honored to be recognized in this way. I want to start by acknowledging that we are on the traditional lands of the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam nations for their shared territories, and by expressing appreciation for the ceremonial welcome given to us. The river, mountains, forests, wetlands, and prairies all around us have been an integral and treasured part of these people's lives since time immemorial. I also want to congratulate the SFU community on your 50th anniversary. I well remember when Simon Fraser University was established and how pleased and excited we all were back then. You should take so much pride in your achievements over this time. You've enriched the lives of so many of us, and you'll continue to do so in the coming years and decades. I would like to share a couple of ideas with you. Over my own career, I've had the tremendous privilege of learning from wise experts of many First Nations in British Columbia about the importance of plants and environments in Indigenous peoples' lifeways. To me, it's always been remarkable how interconnected environmental knowledge is with people's values and attitudes, leadership, territories, and all that is important in life. Trees, berries, medicinal plants, bearers, herring, all these life forms are regarded as relations. Relations on which we humans completely depend for our well-being and survival. This means that we are all connected, that there are strong ties between us, and that we must consider these relationships in everything we do. Complexity and interconnectedness are perhaps some of the hardest concepts we have to incorporate in planning and making decisions that affect our future. In fact, they may be the most fundamental notions for humanity as we face the next several millennia. Almost all the serious problems we've created for ourselves, from pollution to overfishing to global warming, have resulted from a lack of understanding of complexity, of the multiplicity of impacts that our actions have, and how they are intricately tied to natural processes at all levels and scales. We cannot, absolutely cannot, live with the assumption that we humans have ultimate control and understanding of how everything works, or that we can always mend our mistakes simply by applying our brilliant technology. There are invariably unanticipated consequences to our actions, with climate change perhaps the most prominent, but by no means the only example. It's not that details and specialized knowledge and technologies are not important, far from it, but we have to be careful not to focus too closely on specifics without stopping to look around, to position our knowledge and research in a broader context. One of the many things that I appreciate about Simon Fraser University is the effort you have made at many levels to cut across disciplines, to break out of the silos that seem to compartmentalize our thinking. Creating a faculty of environment is really an effective way to bring people with diverse knowledge together, to exchange ideas and devise new ways of thinking about problems. The Herring School, a consortium of fisheries ecologists, First Nations experts, archaeologists, geographers, and others with an interest in the well-being of herring on our coast, coordinated through this faculty and supported by the Hakai Institute, is just one exemplary cross-disciplinary initiative. Another example of complexity that transcends many divides is the Squala of the Strait Salish peoples. Squala is the name for willow, and the reef net, a fishing technology used for countless generations around the Salish Sea to intercept the runs of sockeye and other salmon as they make their way from the deep ocean back to the Fraser River on their miraculous migration to their home spawning grounds. According to Saanich oral tradition, the Squala was a gift of the salmon people themselves, who also taught the Saanich and other Strait Salish people how to harvest salmon sustainably, to honor the salmon and ensure their continued survival. This included looking after the wetlands that produced the willows for the reef nets and the forests where the giant cedars for canoes grew. Long lead lines, camouflaged with clumps of dune grass, were anchored with rocks, and a circular hole at the end of the reef net always allowed some salmon to escape. People started fishing when the beautiful ocean spray bloomed, and a 4-day-long first salmon ceremony was celebrated when no fish could be taken. Ceremonial names were given for all the different kinds of salmon: respected one, sister-in-law, adopted nephew. And kachmin, the fragrant wild celery seeds, were burned as an incense to feed the salmon spirits. The Douglas Treaties of the 1850s assured the Strait Salish peoples of the right to, quote, fish as farmerly, but in 1916, the Canadian government banned the reef net fishery, along with all traps and weirs up and down the coast. Reef net fishing knowledge was kept alive by just a few Saanich people who fished with reef nets in the San Juans until the 1950s, when these were banned on the US side as well. Last summer, for the first time in nearly 100 years, a squala was set in the traditional family-owned reef net site on Pender Island. Dr. Nick Claxton, with a host of Saanich elders and advisors, students and community members, had undertaken this inspiring revitalization of an ancestral fishery as his doctoral research program at UVic. The squala, Nick points out, is not just food procurement. It is a process of connecting and sharing, decision-making, governance, identity, social bonding, health, and well-being. In short, a way of life. The ongoing revival of the squala is just one example of countless that I could mention of how complex and interconnected our lives, histories, and environments are. To truly understand, to plan and make decisions for our future, we need to consider the complexities of whatever we do. We need to bridge individual disciplines. We need people who, like Nick, are mediators, people who can communicate and operate across cultural and geographic lines, across generations, who can hear and consider many voices, and who can do their best to represent those entities and species who have no voice. So, each of you, as you go forward into a new phase of your lives, try to take the time and effort to think broadly about your actions, make those connections, seek out this wisdom wherever you can, develop relationships, listen carefully, and be open to new ideas. Don't be afraid to change your mind and admit you've been wrong. It's part of the learning process. And celebrate the richness and beauty of nature as a way to enrich your own lives and those all around you. Be wary of simplistic notions and misplaced assumptions. Try to anticipate what the ultimate consequences of your work will be. Embrace complexity, diversity, and subtlety, and ensure that decisions you make help reflect a nuanced and careful assessment of the situation and its context. Embrace a deep respect for others, both human and non-human. Always remember past lessons, but keep an eye firmly focused on the future and on how you might be able to make positive change. And be sure to vote in our coming election. We're so very lucky, looking around the world, to have that fundamental right. Thank you again for this wonderful honor, which I accept with humility and deep appreciation. It means a great deal to me, and best of luck in all you do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Turner. Ladies and gentlemen, as part of Convocation, the Alumni Association will present a Simon Fraser University alumni pin and a 50th anniversary memento to the graduates as they leave the stage. Our alumni are incredibly important to us, and we're pleased that this symbolic presentation will launch you on your new role as alumni of Simon Fraser University. Mr. Robert Weston received a Bachelor of Arts in Commerce and Economics in 1978. He's also currently a member of the SFU Alumni Association Board of Directors. I invite Mr. Weston to the lectern to bring greetings to the graduates from the Alumni Association.
Madam Chancellor, President Petter, all guests, and graduates. On behalf of your elected SFU Alumni Association Board, I extend my congratulations and welcome to you to our global network. Be proud of your SFU credential. Just like the 135,000 graduates before you, the strength of this institution rests with you. We are here to help you expand your personal and professional networks and support your success through offering access to resources, including career services. Additionally, our local and national international events create opportunities for you to connect with alumni and other professionals. To find out more, stay connected with us and other alumni through our social media channels, via email and online alumni directory. As you cross the stage today, I'll present you with an alumni pin. Wear it as a symbol of your incredible achievement and connection to SFU. Congratulations again, and welcome to SFU Alumni.
Thank you, Robert. Before the graduands are presented individually to the Chancellor, Ms. Crystal Cocking, a member of the graduating class, will address Convocation. Crystal is graduating with a Bachelor of Education, majoring in English and minoring in Education. She's been a longtime welcome leader with Student Services and a member of the Friends of Simon Tutoring Project. She excelled academically, ranking on the Dean of Education's list for academic achievement. After completing the professional development program in teaching, she is now employed as a teacher in the district of Maple Ridge. It's now my great pleasure to call upon Ms. Crystal Cocking for the graduand address. Crystal?
Thank you so much. Graduates, Madam Chancellor, President Petter, esteemed members of the university, families, and friends, I am honored and humbled to be giving the Convocation address representing the Faculty of Education and Faculty of Environment. This is a convocation like no other. Not only is 2015 the year that marks the 50th anniversary of Simon Fraser's establishment, welcoming students from across the globe into a diverse learning community, but it is the year that these students before us received their diplomas and represent their successes. As I was figuring out what I would say to you all, the school's taglines, the engaged university, and engage in the world kept popping in my head. As all the education students here know, engagement is one of the most critical elements to being an effective teacher. The more your students are interested in your lesson, the more authentic the learning experience. For the environment students, engagement is contributing to the dialogue and taking action to preserve and sustain the planet in a technologically advancing society. The more people invested in the conversation will create action and change. Whether it is in dialogue or delivering lessons, we have all been affected by how the university has chosen to engage with us. Clearly, by us sitting here, we have met and exceeded those expectations, and for me, this idea of seeing one's potential is what totally changed my experience as an undergraduate. During my 5 years here at the university, SFU has engaged with me as a student, volunteer, and an employee. I have been intellectually challenged to see my understandings from different perspectives, asked to create meaningful projects that I still refer back to, and write paper after paper until the words stopped looking correctly spelled, and I began to question all those spelling tests that I got in elementary school. I would describe my educational journey as a relatable one filled with struggles and successes, but I believe my most valuable learning was done outside the classroom. As a volunteer, I welcomed new students to the community as an orientation as a leader and was exposed to many different people from all over the world and the stories of how they got here. This taught me great cultural understanding and gave me faith that any student could make it and thrive into a post-secondary institution. As an employee, I was given the opportunity to work for many different departments on many of the campuses, but that would have never happened if I was never given a chance. Up until this September, all of the jobs I've ever worked have been through SFU. When I was a new student, I used to think that my zero job experience would never get me hired on to do anything on campus. I ended up taking a chance and applied for some positions, and it was not long after that I was offered my very first job as an office temp. SFU was engaging with me, taking a chance on me, and boy, did I not want to disappoint. I worked in fields that had no direct relation to my educational background, such as political science and residence and housing, but I met so many wonderful people who are passionate about their work, and I discovered how much it really takes to run an educational facility. I soon joined the Friends Assignment Tutoring Project and took a chance to teach students who are new to Canada, and this helped me get involved to the public school systems and put my teaching skills to the test. All of that work experience for the university translated to a very successful year in the professional development program, solidifying my desire to teach and placing me where I am today as a registered teacher, convocating with my peers. I heard once that they would rather hear about memories than enemies, rather hear what was or what will be rather than what is, rather hear how you got it or over how much it cost you, rather hear about finding yourself and how you lost you. Rather you make this an open letter about family and struggle and it taking forever, about hearts that you've broken and ties that you've severed. No doubt in my mind, that'll make them feel better. For those of you who are unfamiliar with those lines, they come from Canada's greatest rapper, Drake. Bonus points to you all who know what song I'm quoting. But Drake was right. In all seriousness, this is what Convocation's all about. For the rest of our lives, we'll be reminiscing about our experiences as an undergraduate, graduate, or PhD student. What we will remember is not how much money we spent or that person we just could not get along with, but rather the time we took a chance on ourselves, said yes to something we would never consider doing before, and it taking us in a direction we never knew were possibilities for ourselves. As we are transitioning to the next stage in our lives, I encourage each and every one of you to say yes to the things that may put you out of your comfort zone. If it were not for my choice to just apply to that office temp job, I probably would have gone to class, gone to work off campus somewhere, graduated, and that would have summed up my university experience. These risks are what makes your time so memorable. I am grateful for what SFU has done for exposing me to so many different perspectives and ideas, allowing me to meet some of the most brilliant minds, providing me a space to reconnect with old friends and to make new ones, and helping me become the best teacher I can be. I can thank you. To my parents, thank you for always encouraging me to do the best I can, supporting my decisions, and being the people I look forward to talking with after a long day's work. To my siblings, thank you for keeping me on my toes and improving my time management skills. I would say I'm surprised by your antics, pleas for homework help, and other strange requests during the most hectic times of my semesters, but I'm not. You taught me to be ready for just about anything anyone could ask me to do. To my friends, thank you for all the memories we have made over the years and cheering me on even when I was overwhelmed with lessons to plans and field trips to organize. To my boyfriend, thank you for all the love you've given me and being an educator that I can continue to share my ideas with and look up to. To my fellow graduates, I wish you all the best where life takes you. We are a unique group that will encourage our future to act upon global concerns and challenge our audiences to discover meanings below the surface level. I invite everyone to join with me in giving these students a round of applause. Congratulations.
Thank you, Crystal. The members of the graduating class will now be presented to the Chancellor to be admitted en masse to their degrees. Will the graduands please rise? Pretty good-looking group, don't you think? Madam Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of this university and I request that you confer upon each one the degree for which she or he is now recommended.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the Senate of this university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees. Will the graduands please be seated?
The members of the graduating class will now be presented individually to the Chancellor, but first a few requests. Would you please refrain from applauding the individual members of the graduating class until each group of degrees has been conferred? This does not apply to the conferral of doctoral degrees, and obviously we can't forbid spontaneous outbursts of enthusiasm, nor do we want to. As a courtesy to others, please remain seated until the conclusion of the ceremony, and would the graduates please return to your seats following receipt of your degrees. The doctoral candidates, please join your colleagues on the platform. The degrees in the Faculty of Education and the Faculty of Environment will now be conferred. Madam Chancellor, Associate Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. Mary Ellen Kelm, will announce the names of the students earning graduate degrees.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Education. The graduates will be hooded by their accompanying faculty supervisor, representative, or Dr. Chris Magnuson, Dean of Education. Dr. Gordon William Cobb, supervised by Dr. Susan O'Neill. Dr. Antu Dejean, supervised by Dr. Sean Blankensop. Dr. Timothy Waddington, supervised by Dr. Sean Blankensop. Dr. Sabrina Fox. Dr. Cheryl Gouloy, supervised by Dr. Kevin O'Neill. Dr. Mark Andrew Halverson, supervised by Dr. Peter Grimmett. Dr. Carla Kronberg, supervised by Dr. Lani Kanevsky. Dr. Jillian D. Smith, supervised by Dr. Haesoon Bai. Dr. Naoko Takai, supervised by Dr. Steve Marshall. Dr. Irina Zoneva, supervised by Dr. Maureen Hoskin. Dr. Ikechukwu Udeva Ayuvorevu, supervised by Dr. Philip Winnie. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Doctor of Education in the Faculty of Education. The graduates will be hooded by their accompanying faculty supervisor, representative, or Dr. Chris Magnuson, Dean of Education. Dr. Alphonse Bongo, supervised by Dr. Danielle Moore. Dr. Francois Grenier, supervised by Dr. Danielle Moore. Dr. King Chung Hui, supervised by Dr. Milt McLaren. Congratulations. Dr. Gwendolyn Point, supervised by Dr. Daniel Leish. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Environment. The graduates will be hooded by their accompanying faculty supervisor, representative, or Dr. Alex Clapp, Associate Dean of Environment. Dr. Sarah Carlock, supervised by Dr. George Nicholas. Dr. Gretchen Hernandez, supervised by Dr. Sean Markey. Dr. Anthony Jumba, supervised by Dr. Susanna Dragacevich. Dr. Valerie Shepard, supervised by Dr. Peter Williams. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of master's degrees in the Faculty of Education. Sheena Anderson. Elaine Beltran Saletti. Jennifer Vishloff. Amanda Willis. Jody Arnott. Quentin Baker. Isabel Barrell. Oro Barton. Rochelle Berco-Gabay. Monica Baterjee. Jeannie Blythe. Jennifer Bourne. Brittany Boyd. Laurent Brisebois. Gwen Budskin. Shirley Marie Calla. Kimberly Carruthers. Robin Chambers. Suki Chan. Melissa Chung. Cora Clark. Taylor Clift. Drew Clucci. Courtney Jane Cook. Tara Lisa Cordy Simpson. Nasiba Dagistani. Asunta Damiani. Nancy Desermo. Sunita Devi. Baljit Dhaliwal. Rajni Dhaliwal. Nicole Dillon. Andrew Dyer. Joanna Edwards. Jennifer Marie Espin. Emily Fast. Samantha Fisher. Trevor Found. Tessa Fraser. Stephen Ha. Celeste Hambleton. Tara Hanna. Stephen Harris. Kristen Hazard. Dina Hoffner Schultz. Ryan Hughes. Craig Hull. Tammy Hull. Douglas Jameson. Kelsey Johnston. Taylor Kim. Yernan Kim. Kristen Kimmel, Edward Coe, Janet Kozak, Yuli Lai, Clarissa Larson, Kathleen Larson, Monique Le Roland, Audrey LaBelle, Edward Lafergie, Kyle Lemon, Chester Leung, Allison Lewis, Carolina Lopez, Theola Liu, Kyle Daniel Ludeman, Claire Letourneau Faring, Ifat Mashanai, Sonia Maglio, Wendy Magnuson, Patricia Maharaj, Lihua Mack, Marliana Mann, Louise Manton, Heather Marin Rietzma, Vanessa Martino, Liliana Maitlich, Matthew McBride, Allison McIntyre, Marianne McKinnon, Leanne McKnight, Meredith Mitdahl, Teresa Migliuri, Keith Milne, Kelly Moffett, Leandra Monroe, Marianne Alves Morgado, Janice Novak, Esther Oforo, Joel Olson, Tammy Owens, Mimi Pacleon, Christine Back, Wendy Palmer, Melissa Pastinelli, Amanda Pelly, Paula Dinza Pelly, Randall Persad, Ashley Phillips, you're doing good. Jamie Potker, Andriana Porlier, Amanda Prod, Jenny Rain, Kalwinder Radwana, Christy Redmond, Craig Retty, Kristen Rexon, Scott Richardson, Carolyn Russo, Elizabeth Sabine, Christina Sandhu, Azita Sauder, Sonam Shah, Annie Simard, Barbara Smith, Deborah Ann Stapleton, Marie Stevens, Eleanor Stewart, Abby Swansburg, Robert Tadai, Jennifer Tarnowski. Kristarina Taruk. Brian Tesson. Travis Tillman. Kathleen Thompson. Chelsea Todd. Bruno Tonta. Michael Torp. Christopher Tsang. Sandra Turbide. Joanna Turkovich. Christy Valley. Sheila Waller. Joshua Weiss. Laura Williams. Candace Wood. Cindy Wu. Dorothy Yvonne Yashuk. Jason Yee. Matthew Zadvorny. Peter Zenker. Elisa Zacklin. Alicia Dubland. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the recipients of graduate diplomas in the Faculty of Education. Amanda Desjardins. Jocelyn Godin. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of master's degrees in the Faculty of Environment. Alexa Walker. Kirsten Bird. Caitlin Miller. Catherine Parsons. Laura Tupper Ring. Master of Science. Let's keep coming. Taylor Anderson. Brian Montgomery.
Madam Chancellor, the Dean of the Faculty of Education, Dr. Chris Magnuson, will announce the names of the students earning undergraduate degrees in his faculty.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Education in the Faculty of Education. Julie Abraham. Daniel Allingham. Christopher Anderson. Catherine Anderson. Carvina Baines. Christine Balage. Nicole Battistel. Jessica Bennett. Lorraine Burnaby. Ariane Berthaud. Christine Bewley. Mandeep Bilg. Kirsten Biscard. Crystal Lee Bierke. Alana Blake. Alana Blouin Summers. Michelle Ganem. Chantel Boyarsky, Devin Boyd, Marina Brillo, Olivia Bruce, Sandra Chamberlain Auger, Ada Chow, Stephanie Charbonneau, Yvonne Chung, Lindsay Shimmick, Olivia Clayton, Todd Clippingdale, Andrea Clipsham, Crystal Cocking, Jennifer Gabrielle Cordoba, Madeline Crawshaw, Christine Diel, Anda Damok, Annie Davis, Nicole Dawson, Stephanie Deanna, Michelle Derrick, Megan Dawadoff, Dana Duncan, Zita Dorani, David Erland, Kristen Edlund, Brittany Eldridge, Eiley Fewer, Maria Ferrero, Megan Forster, Adam Forchak, Caitlin Fraser, Noshin Gafour, Christina Gill, Ranika Gill, Terry Ray Glynn, Emily Goldsmith, Stephanie Golan, Charlotte Hagedorn, Allison Hall, Shiloh Hansen, Tegan Hayes, Caitlin Hebert, Anna Heffelfinger, Mariana Hodanich, Matthew Huffland, Amelia Hutchinson, Deborah Jarvis, Jordan Young, Kimberly Young, Amber Keeley, Gurminder Kun Kun, Young Yoon Kim, Emily Krasnoff. We're going to have to practice this. Joanna Lane, Debbie Langtree, Samantha Lankmeyer, Alexandra Lansing, Christina Lau, Sean Lau, T. Lee, Olivia Lee, Sarah Lamar, Chelsea Lenny, Taylor Lepore, Jennifer Letkeman, Larissa Lightburn, Katie Liu, Helene Lowe, Shauna Lowen, Anita Lucos, Susanna Neva Martz, Julie McDowell, Catherine McMillan, Cynthia Miners, Rachel Middleton, Amanda Monk, Nulufar Nazari, Jennifer Nabel, Larissa Nelson, Michael Ness, Amy Ouellette, Amarjot Pabla, Stephanie Pagliaro, Manjit Panasar, Melissa Phelan, Thoralee Pilton, Ashley Pleasance, Whitney Pollock, Charlotte Powell, Lauren Principe, Kathleen Quash, Catherine Rader, Tajinder Rai, Arzu Rakib, Laura Remy, Joy Robertson, Melissa Robinson, Emily Royale, Jasdeep Sadra, Harmonica Sagu, Brett Salary, Bria Salloway, Adam Salter, Ramandeep Sangha, Marav Schiffer, Supriya Sharma, Emily Skinner, Melody Soderquist, Bianca Sihai, Eva Shimchik, Evelina Taheri, Paula Taylor, Sunny Thind, Michael Tuzo, Ryan Townsend, Tanis Tremblay, Amy Turton, Manelaine Valencia, Jason Vanderhoek, Itziel Verend, Vanessa Watkins, Kimberly Welfing, Teresa Williams, Fiona Wilson, Haley Wiseman, Kendra Wong, Christine Yee, Deanna Zucchetto, Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of General Studies in the Faculty of Education. Christina Empe, Tara Ford, Erica Gilson, Hei Yao Hu, Alan Jin, Yan Nan Hu, Nicole Lang, Yifi Li, Yanan Liang, Irina Liu, Caitlin Mackey, Seneca Mazuhara, Dakota Meredith, Kathleen Poon, Navreet Riyar, Pooja Sharma, Kitty Tung, Tina Yi, Ziwen Yin, Phoebe Yip, Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present the students who have completed the requirements for diplomas in the Faculty of Education. Angie Cottrell, Hadil Fononi, Esme Kirkland, Karen Maria Rogers, Brizeda Saro, Bilyani Tepik,
Madam Chancellor, the Associate Dean of the Faculty Environment, Dr. Alex Clapp, will announce the names of the students earning undergraduate degrees in his faculty.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Arts in the Faculty of Environment. Allison Chadwick. Wujay Jesse Choi. Jeffrey Dadson. Stephanie Ekeli. Jessica Fickel. Eric Su. Sukraj Kang. Andrew Kwok. Geneva Ledding. Rui Lin. Michelle Lind. Jacob Marachich. Zachary McElligut. Andrea Mullen. Bradley Newton. Jiangsu Park. Yosuke Revel. Janelle Schmale. Shay Teixeira. Emily Wall. Andrew Wilson. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor of presenting the graduates of the degree of Bachelor of Science in the Faculty of Environment. Temi Ogunfuwa. Indra Orgil. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present the student who has completed the requirements for a diploma in the Faculty of Environment. Pablo Vignon Pina.
Will the graduating class please rise? I congratulate each of you on the completion of your degree. This is an impressive achievement, and I ask your friends and family to join me in applauding the amazing 50th anniversary graduating class of October 2015. They think you've done good. And now I invite the members of the graduating class to reciprocate by applauding your family, friends, faculty, staff, indeed all those who helped you achieve your goals. Please be seated. In celebration of SFU's 50th anniversary, a song contest was held this spring in search of a legacy song for the university. The winning song was co-written by Caleb Sung and Brett Jansen. Caleb, a singer, songwriter, and pianist, is a fourth-year SFU student, and he's here to send off the graduating class with a song entitled, you guessed it, Engage the World. Caleb.
Thank you.
On mountain high, we innovate, build questing minds, and educate. With striving hearts, initiate. We honor this, our native land. While visions grow, we take our stand. Where dreams are held in students' hands. Engage the world, engage the world. Our school will rise above in victory. We're SFU. Here, community, where knowledge grows, both strong and free. We'll change the world with unity. Engage the world, engage the world. Our school will rise above in victory. We're SFU. We're SFU. We're SFU.
Thank you so much. Engage the world, SFU. Thank you.
I think that's called singing your heart out. Thank you, Caleb. Ladies and gentlemen, this completes the formal awarding of degrees. Some of the graduates recommended by Senate for degrees today are unable to be present, and their names have therefore not been read out. I now admit them to the appropriate degrees as shown in the program. I have several thank yous to express. First, to all of you for joining us on such a celebratory day. To the many volunteer staff and faculty members coordinated by Ceremonies and Events Office and Student Services who have worked together to run a smooth Convocation Day and have kept it not quite raining. That's a big responsibility they have. And to the members of our 6-time world champion Simon Fraser University Pipe Band for their contribution to Convocation. They will be performing again after the ceremony in Freedom Square behind the platform. Let's thank them all. Now this ends the formal part of this morning's convocation, but We only have a 50th anniversary every 50 years or so. So I'd like to kind of remember this one. So can the graduating class stand up and put on the glasses, the 50th anniversary special glasses? And I'm going to invite Andrew Petter in, and we're going to take a selfie with all of you. All right? So here it goes. We'll see how this works. We'll see how this works. All right.
You can make it so you can see the picture.
I know. I will treasure those pictures. Thank you to everyone, and you are now invited to attend a reception in the James Douglas room behind the platform. I ask that you please rise and remain standing at your places until the platform party has recessed.